Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today we are continuing our cocktail series and we are going to be making Ain't That a Peach out of Vivian Howard's Deep Run Roots cookbook. Now we're it's not peach season here yet, but so we didn't make the canned peaches from her book yet. Maybe we'll do that this summer, but we did have some home canned peaches that we made couple years ago, I think. And I know that we put some alcohol in here, and I do not remember, we put brandy in some and maybe bourbon in some, and I forget. I have no idea what's in this one. Just no idea. But we're gonna go ahead and make it, despite the fact that we don't have exactly the ingredient that she used from her thing. But this is basically just some syrup from canned peaches. Ours are home canned. I'm sure you could use, store-bought, but you'll want ones in actual syrup, not the now they have the more healthy, less sugar ones. You probably don't want that. So we are going to put the syrup in this jar because we're going to mix it up in here because it looks like a tea glass. If you're from the South, you know what I mean. Basically a water glass full of alcohol. Bourbon. We are using this. It's relatively inexpensive, but still pretty tasty bourbon that we like to use for mixing. And because there are 8 ounces of bourbon in this, I didn't want to use anything too expensive right now anyway. So I am going to measure that. Yeah, it's a lot of bourbon. There we go. And we're going to put that in here. And then the only thing that we have to put in here now is some lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice. And let's see. There's part of it. And then there is the rest that the recipe calls for. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on here so I don't knock it over. I'm gonna use this spoon that I used to kind of keep the peaches in the jar just to stir it up. I could shake it, I could put the lid on and shake it, but I'm not gonna do that because I would probably mess it up. I would probably make a mess. That's what I would do. So, stir it up. Kind of looks very syrupy on the spoon. Interesting. And then serve that in a large glass over ice. See, that's a lot of drink. Couldn't even put all of it in my glass. So you can garnish this with a peach slice if you want. My peach slices look a little meh. One of the batches, this must have been the batch that I cooked a little bit too long, so they broke down a bit, so they're not quite as pretty as, they could be, but there we go. That's a lot of bourbon. Tastes strongly of bourbon, but I like bourbon. So that's pretty good. We'll have to try it another time after we have canned the peaches, but you can see, pretty easy if you have the ingredients to throw together. I would recommend it if you're a fan of bourbon. On this episode of Cooking the Books with Heather, you watched me make Ain't That a Peach, a cocktail out of the Deep Run Roots cookbook. And I have to say, we liked it. I think it might be better if the peaches didn't have alcohol in them already. Like I said, I'm not sure which alcohol our peaches that we used had in them. And so we didn't use exactly the same recipe that she did. And my husband would like for us to do that. So, can some peaches using her recipe and try it again that way. But I do have to say, it is much more of a highball glass size drink that you should have it in rather than a tall drink. You kind of need to watch how much you drink of that. I think that's about 4 drinks worth rather than the sort of one large drink that it seemed like was pictured. And I don't think there was any indication of, you know, serves 4 or whatever. I could be wrong. But anyway, so if you like bourbon, you should try it. If you like bourbon and you like peaches, you'll probably like it, but do be careful. If you enjoyed watching me make this today, please give me a thumbs up and come back and watch me make something else.